My name is Bart Kremers.
My name is Jerome Corba. I am Giuseppe Dal Passo.
My name is Rupert Kaslau-Tunis.
My name is Erwin.
We see a lot of occasions of overheating homes nowadays. First, because the climate is getting warmer and warmer in summer. Second, because we build better, so we insulate the houses better and we make it airtight. The third reason is that sometimes there are large glass facades on the south area, so a lot of sun is coming in. And these are three reasons that a lot of homes nowadays overheat. And we have to go against that, of course.
Overheating is not even a seasonal issue anymore. Instead of weeks, it's getting months now due to change of climate. We get longer and intense summers. So you see a lot of existing buildings are overheating, but also the new buildings still have overheating. Typical complaints about too high temperatures inside of houses and buildings are that you don't have that good night of rest. You will get less efficient during the working day, physical and mental complaints, you get tired. It's a really big problem, the overheating of buildings. We have to do more to get the heat outside and ventilate the houses with climatic ventilation.
Some people may argue, can I not just open a window to get cool air inside? Well, you can open a window, but it only brings cool air in that room that you open the window. Our ventilation system helps you provide the fresh air and the coolness in all rooms. And it also keeps track of the temperature outside. If it's lower than inside, then it will bring the cool air in. And if it's higher and warmer outside, it will keep the fresh air in, but the heat out.
Historically, the phenomenon of the overheating was fought through the usage of the free cooling. Nowadays, the free cooling is not enough anymore because the thermal load are increasing more and more. It becomes necessary to have the support of something more like a heat pump.
Shutters and fans are not the only solution to decrease your temperature overshoot. Of course, you can lower it a little bit, but after that you still need some climatic ventilation to really get a better indoor climate, fresh air and cooler climate, but also a lower humidity inside of the house.
Zehnder is focusing on the phenomenon of overheating in building because it is becoming more and more frequent nowadays in our houses. Zehnder wants to join heat recovery ventilation with air-to-air heat pump. Heat recovery ventilation can provide a pre-cooling effect that is completely free, and the rest of the energy needed is provided by the air-to-air heat pump that can provide both cooling and heating.
Well, balanced ventilation can help to decrease the risk of overheating. And that is because it takes in fresh air, so you still get in fresh air, but the heat from outside is kept outside. So it's a sort of insulation with air. You still get fresh air, but not the heat.
I mean, if you're using something like the comfort climb unit, then it'll look to mitigate the risk of overheating through low cost or passive measures first. So it will be looking to work in conjunction with that heat recovery unit to open that summer bypass and bring the cooler air from outside in. It'll look to boost when it's cooler outside to again bring large volumes of that air into the property to help cool it down. There'll also be the opportunity for cold recovery within that heat recovery unit as well. So in the winter months, you want heat recovery because it's warmer inside and colder outside. In the summer months, if you've got a cooler internal environment and it's warmer outside, then absolutely you want to recover some of that. So that's where the bypass would close and you'd have that cold recovery through the heat recovery unit. And then finally, if all these kind of passive measures through the heat recovery unit aren't sufficient to maintain a comfortable internal environment, then that's where the compressor, the Comfo Climb, will activate to start to temper some of that supply air.
Ventilative cooling is cooling with ventilation air. In this way, you combine two functions of ventilation. One is you get fresh air, and the second is you get the coolness from outside. If you use any air conditioning system, you provide coolness to the house, but no fresh air. And with ventilative cooling, you have both
Another factor in favor of the climatic ventilation compared to the normal air conditioner is related to the noise. Classic air conditioner, moving a lot more air, create, of course, inevitably more noise in the house. The climatic ventilation, moving lower volume, is way more silent. And another aspect is connected to the technology. The normal air conditioner needs an external unit as a condenser, which is noisy, not aesthetically pleasant. The climatic ventilation doesn't need any external unit. Everything is integrated in the unit itself.
Most common misconception about balanced ventilation is that you don't need it in the summer. Most people don't know that balanced ventilation has also cold recovery inside, so you can really lower your cooling demand. And it has also an integrated bypass to lower your temperature in your house for a better summer comfort.
Imagine you have a ventilation system in a summer day. In the morning, it is still fresh and cool outside, so you want to have that coolness inside your house. So if it's already warm but outside is cooler, then a bypass functionality will activate so that coolness is bringing in unobstructedly. As we go further in the day, then all of a sudden the temperature outside will get warmer than inside. At that time the bypass is inactivated so that there is cold recovery taking place. That means that the fresh air is still coming in. That's good for your health, but the heat is kept out. So in the summer, cold recovery will help you to stay at a lower temperature inside.
On a sunny day, you're gonna have always heating up, but if you choose the right building system, it's less. This building have a nice environment, a nice comfort. The role of ventilation is that we're gonna keep the temperature, humidity, and the CO2 on control. We do night cooling with the comfort air and the comfort climate.
In summer, sometimes people tend to have a set point at 20 degrees or even 19 degrees to have as much cold as possible. This is not really good for your body. A lot of temperature difference going outside from inside and back again. The human body doesn't react well when it is at the same temperature all the time. So sometimes you need to go with the flow. Let's say when the climate gets warmer, then also the indoor temperatures might get warmer. Your body adapts to that. We call it adaptive comfort. And then you can withstand higher temperatures.
So, I think overheating is likely to increase and become more of a concern for more of us across the world, really. And we're already starting to see the possibility of higher ventilation rates being required, certainly again for that nighttime cooling, bringing that air in at a higher rate than normal building regulations. And as we see risks to health due to higher temperatures increasing, then the likelihood is we are going to see maybe higher default temperatures, but certainly higher ventilation rates as a possibility. Personally, hope to see more passive measures, certainly in new build properties, so more solar shading, more overhangs, more blinds, to improve the thermal efficiency of the property as well, to help remove or reduce the need for any kind of active cooling requirements. But I think it's inevitable there is going to be a higher demand for active cooling in the future.
How can we imagine the future of constructions? If we consider that today we can experience big improvement on the quality of the construction themselves, and that means excellent thermal insulation in winter as well as in summer, we can assume that in the future adopting a ventilative cooling solution can fulfill all the needs of the user in terms of air renovation, energy saving, good indoor comfort, and excellent indoor air quality.